Hello class, it's Philip, and I am going to compare uh, the genders like female and male in the field of occupational therapy. I want to start this presentation off with some statistics I found regarding like the problems of like gender wage and the female and male presence in occupational therapy. So in the left column, you can see that the differences in pay and the wage gap for females and males is around 15,342, with females making an average of $61,951 and males making an average of 77,293. There's an obvious wage gap right there. And in this field of work, occupational therapists, 90% of those occupational therapists are female. And in this 2019 census, uh, it was showing that there was around 13,000 males and 118,000 females in this field of work. So even with this heavy amount of females in this field of work, we are still seeing a gender wage gap, and it's disheartening to say the least because the males are the minority in this field of work, and they're still getting paid more than majority. I want to talk about the female role in this uh, field of work of occupational therapy and how society and even people in that field of work essentialize those workers um, into that female role. And according to our textbooks, it says the term matriarchy is generally used to refer to systems of ideology, social structures, and practices that are created by women and reflect the values, priorities, and views of women as a group. And this term can carry on through different fields of healthcare, such as pediatrics, nursing, and occupational therapy, and there's many more. But because of the heavy female presence in this field of work, we stereotype and essentialize these workers with traits of the matriarchy. Opportunities for all genders. Regarding the question, what are the opportunities for all genders in this career field? According to Jodie Collins in her thesis, A Female's Profession, Gender Disparity in Occupational Therapy, she explains that because occupational science originated with females and remains female-dominated, occupational therapy workplaces are created to cater towards females. Over the century that this profession has been active, males have rarely been associated, permitting men to not go into or not remain in the field. And the statement does give the bias of more opportunities towards females in this field of work, but in more recent years, we are also seeing more opportunities and job openings for males to join the profession, to provide patients with more diversity, and also the notion to be treated by somebody like them. Some challenges for all genders in this field, as you see for males, it focuses on more of the activities of daily living, or in occupational therapy it's called ADL. And according to Dennis Robert Jones in his thesis, Perceived Differences Between Male and Female Occupational Therapists, Treatment, and Other Related Gender Issues, there's a general and stereotypical uncomfortability that some female patients have with some male OTs, and that's usually during ADL, so it's either during when they're disrobing, changing clothes, they're going to the bathroom, or taking a shower. They'd rather much prefer not to have male OTs. So that's a challenge for when there's only one male OT, so they have to get another worker there. So that's one for males, and for females, it surrounds dependency. And in a study by Dennis Robert Jones, he recognizes male patients and staff and their bias towards the female OTs, saying that they thought the female therapists generally did not do enough to lessen the male client's feelings of passivity and helplessness. And this type of essentializing that we've learned from our textbooks puts certain expectations onto those female OTs. What changes need to be made within this organization's culture? So the female-dominated field of occupational therapy can be aligned with some changes surrounding the stereotypes that we put both genders in. If it be matriarchal for females and even aggressive for males, the organization can benefit with the idea that both female and males are able to exhibit traits of empathy, patience, and strength, which are all important in the field of occupational therapy. Rather than focusing on the gender of the therapist, we must look at their overall personality and work ethic that carries on to the betterment of their patients. And at the end of the day, it is their job to focus on the patient and stick with the idea that Sergio Sandoval had said in his NPR interview, which is uh, being in that field of work, he has the ability to work with people with disabilities to make a difference in their lives, and which was a goal for him and which should be a goal for anyone that's going into this field of work. Here are my references, and I want to thank you all for tuning in and listening. Looking forward to seeing all the other comparisons in your guys' fields of work.